So you're building a new home and you're very interested but a little confused about the insulation types when people talk about spray foam. I am a big fan of spray foam insulation in the houses, and we have been using it for years. It is a great air sealer, which is something that we are striving to do better and better as time goes on. By air sealing, I mean think of an older house that is drafty. It was allowing air to migrate from outside to in and vice versa. That's not very efficient when it comes to your energy bills. So, foam insulation is a great air sealer. But there are two types of foam insulation. You might have heard about them and you don't understand what the differences are. The first type is called open cell spray foam. It's what we tend to use in the houses. As the name implies, it has cells in it. It's really just meaning little holes throughout the foam. Once it expands and cures, there are just tiny little cells throughout that make it not totally impermeable. So it has some permeability, meaning air can move through it very slowly. For the most part, it's a complete seal, but air can move through very slowly, and water can move through very slowly. So if you were able to put a piece of open cell spray foam against a tank of water, it will slowly migrate through and you will see the foam starting to get wet. Some people consider this a negative. I consider it a bit of a positive because you know where a leak is and you are able to pull the foam out, fix the leak, and respray. The second type of foam is called closed cell foam. As the name implies, it has no cells in it. It is impermeable both to water and air. It is also a denser foam because it has no cells throughout, which makes it a little bit structural in nature. If you spray a bunch of closed cell foam on the back of a wall, it will help strengthen that wall. So you may say, well, Steve, why not just use closed cell spray foam for everything? And my answer is, I think if we could, we might. But the problem is it is more expensive. Or more accurately, it does not go as far for the same 2 barrels of components that they use. Open cell spray foam goes a lot further. You get more wall feet of it out of 2 barrels of the materials that they have to mix together to spray the foam, as opposed to closed cell spray foam, which is low expanding and just does not go as far. There are cases to use closed cell spray foam, especially when you have water concerns. A very common situation would be a steel building. It's impossible to get those buildings to be as tight as a wood building where we are using zip wall and zip tape and have exterior facade materials. A steel building, the R-panel siding, oftentimes you see is all there is. Thin metal siding that has to join other sections and may not be perfectly tight. Spraying closed cell spray foam in that situation will help keep out water, and so that is recommended to use it in those type of scenarios. So if you are interested in using spray foam insulation in your house that you're building, talk to your builder. I do recommend spraying open cell spray foam. We even use it in an encapsulated way, meaning we spray the underside of the roof line. This contains the whole structure in the insulated package. So even the attic is going to be insulated. We also put some supply vents on the HVAC system so they blow either cold air in the summer or hot air in the winter into the attic. This helps control the humidity and just makes the attic a lot more comfortable. Lastly, you do not have an attic where a bunch of loose insulation has been blown on the attic floor. So if you have ever gone up into an attic that has something like the fiberglass, loose fiberglass sprayed, you can't see the floor joist, you don't know where you're stepping if you're trying to walk across a section that doesn't have decking on it. Many a person has fallen through the sheetrock because they missed the joist and they stepped on the sheetrock. With an encapsulated attic, you can see the sheetrock that's on the ceiling below. You see all the wiring, you see everything, which allows you later, if you're up there trying to add a wire, trying to add a pipe, it's very easy to see what you're doing in that attic. So I love the way the attics turn out. Plus, you can be up there working in the summer Whereas you could never do that, especially here in Texas in the summer in a regular vented attic with blown insulation on the floor. So I hope that helps explain the two types of insulation you can use in your home, spray foam insulation. So good luck.